Hello GoPro shooters! Welcome to the 2-minute tutorial series. This whole series is aimed at showing you everything you need to know about shooting underwater video, underwater photos, all the tips, techniques, and all the gear to do all of that. So I'm Brent. I shoot a lot of underwater photos, a lot of videos, and let's cue the intro. And step number 1. So this is paramount when shooting any light underwater, strobe or video light, but this is that we want the light to be behind the plane of the camera. We do not want the light to sit in front of the camera, out to the front here because we think it's gonna be on the subject and light it really well. We want that light to be behind the camera. So looking at it from the side, the light's gonna be behind this front of the port right here. And when we do that, we're minimizing chances of getting backscatter in the image. And backscatter are those white particles caused by sand or plankton or anything else that's lit up by the light and then reflecting back into the camera, creating all those white spots around the edge or those white particles floating through the frame when we're shooting underwater video. And this doesn't matter if you're shooting with a single light on your GoPro or if you're shooting with dual lights. You want to always make sure the lights are behind the plane of the camera. And there's more principles that go into that, like the beam of light, the angle of light coming from it, and being able to minimize backscatter while also lighting the subject. So check out this tutorial above on underwater strobe positioning, and it deals with strobes, but video lights are the exact same thing, and it's the exact same thing with the GoPro. So 21-minute tutorial, check it out, everything you want to know about strobe and light positioning. And tip number 2, so this is for all the single light shooters, and what you want to do with your light is have the light positioned over the camera itself, not directly over 12 o'clock, but the 11 o'clock or the 1 o'clock position. And the reason for this is because if the light is directly over the camera, we're gonna get a lot more of that backscatter we were talking about earlier. If the light is slightly to either side, we're gonna still light our subject nice and evenly while minimizing backscatter. And with the light coming somewhat from the front, we'll have even lighting around the face of the subject or the reef, whatever it is. If the light was coming around from the side, let's say, then we would have strong light on one side and harsh shadows on the other, which we typically want to avoid. And it's actually one of the reasons that we start using 2 lights when we're shooting underwater with the GoPro. But for single light positioning, you want it roughly here or here, 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock position, again, behind the front plane of the GoPro. And tip number 3, 2 lights. So as opposed to using 1 light roughly over the center when we have a single light on the GoPro, we're going to put these lights out to the side. So now it's okay to have the light to the side because we have 2 lights, so any shadow being caused by 1 light is going to be lit by the other. So we want to have both lights behind the plane, like in tip 1, and angled slightly out. And again, like I mentioned, the reason for this is because each light produces a beam of light, and we want to light the subject without lighting extra water in order to minimize the backscatter and create the best image possible, or the best lit image. And that goes back to that strobe positioning tutorial you have to check out. So both lights should be slightly above the GoPro and back behind, facing slightly out. And that's your default position. You can move one up, one down a little bit, maybe put one a little further away or something like that. But that is a very basic position, and you'll notice that every camera shooter, every video shooter underwater is using that same type of position. And there we have it, our 3 quick tips for GoPro positioning. Check out the link below for other tutorials I have on my site with GoPro settings for shooting automatic or manual for the Hero 7 and other models of GoPro, as well as whether you should choose between filters or lights and some of the other questions you're gonna have with your GoPro. Subscribe if you wanna see more of these videos, and I'll see you in the next video.